Hello, welcome to the Keanu Show with your host, Keanu Mendoza. Today's topic is the Sudan-Nuba genocide. Currently, Sudan is split into two separate states as of 2011. The state lies in the northeast part of Africa, and the history of the Sudan conflict dates all the way back to 1983. Not 1984, not 1985, 1983, when the colonization of Africans was made by the British. It has been recently described as a genocide because of the ethnic and religious differences. But now over to Charlie with further information about the genocide.
Thank you, Keanu. In 1989, General Omar Bashir took control of Sudan by military coup, which then allowed the National Islamic Front government to inflame regional tensions. In a struggle for political control of the area, weapons poured into Darfur. Conflicts increased between African farmers and many nomadic Arab tribes. Since 2003, an estimated 300,000 people have died as a result of the conflict in Darfur. Additionally, 2.7 million people have been displaced within Darfur, with several hundred thousand more fleeing into neighboring countries such as Chad, the Central African Republic, and Egypt. In September 2004, George W. Bush declared the crisis in Darfur genocide, the first time a sitting American president has made such a declaration regarding an ongoing conflict. Many people are still losing their lives because of this, and it must be resolved. Now here's Shai with more information.
Thank you, Charlie. So, as we know, the genocide is a premeditated killing of a large group of people concerning those of a certain pertaining to a certain group. The Sudan genocide has affected many citizens and civilians in Darfur and other areas of Sudan as well. The President Omar al-Bashir was charged with genocide in 2011, which overthrew the population in fear and was placed as an international criminal by the International Criminal Court of Law. In 2011, the regime in Sudan unleashed a wave of killing, rape, and forced starvation among the people within the Nuba Mountains, known as the Southern Kordofan provinces, where he did daily aerial raids and ground tactics against civilians from farming. With no growing food in the region, and Bashir refusing to allow humanitarian aid, hundreds of thousands of lives are now threatened by war-related causes, such as diseases and forced starvation. The government of Sudan has limited humanitarian aid in Sudan and has reported to have been committing a genocide against the non-Arabian population. The conflict resulted in 2.5 million people dead and 4 million displaced after the war. The war ended with the signing of Comprehension Peace Agreement in 2005 and later split into two countries along the line of the Nuba Mountains, the North and South Sudan, in 2011 as a result of the South wanting freedom from civil wars in Sudan.
Thank you, Shai. The North believed that the South should only be Arabian Islamic domain, therefore they didn't want British-supported Christians. The Northerners made several efforts to put down Christians and set many restrictions on them. The Sudan Council of Ministers changed the official date of rest in 1960 from Sunday to Friday. This angered the Southerners, so they ended up protesting and striking. The government responded with imprisoning the alleged ringleaders severely. The Christians were limited to social activities, money collections, land ownership, and
etc. God, the Sudanese government accused the missionaries on implanting hatred and fear in the hearts of the Southerners. The North had an objective of creating a separate Southern political hierarchy in the provinces which threatened the country's unity. The North wanted to overthrow General Ibrahim Aboud dictatorship to put Sir al-Khatim al-Khalifa as prime minister to try and resolve southern problems. Al Khalifa had experience in the South and felt sympathetic for their cause. In his case, where it seemed like a good choice, he brought back traditional parties and democracies. It in turn brought hostility that lasted decades among the nation. However, the South wanted to greaten the diversity between the country religiously and ethnically, which grew more conflict between the two regions.
Thank you, Kiana. The future rests as it is in the split of Sudan, and the South is still influencing Christian attributes. The fighting has died down by now, but is still a challenge. The South Sudan favors self-determination and secession. Both regions are working to keep peace.
Well, this is the last segment of the Keanu Show. Thanks for joining us. This is your host, Keanu Mendoza, signing off. Stay classy, San Diego. May have gotten lost or not, that's why they're disappearing. But then how was that?
Oh my god! I am so done with you. Go.
No, it was there. It was there. It fell off. All right.
Hey, Nubitus Mountains.
Did I say the Nubitus?
You said new in 2003 as the government of Sudan is in question about the disappearance of
The
Christians.
northerness. Go ahead.
Oh my
Northern